Former WSU QB Jason Gesser has been placed on administrative leave after being accused of multiple inappropriate sexual advances towards student interns and colleagues. Washington State University placed former quarterback and current athletic department employee Jason Gesser on administrative leave Monday after a former Cougar athlete came forward with new allegations that Gesser tried to force himself on her after a fundraising event in 2015. The woman, 27-year-old Alyssa Bedeau, told the Spokesman Review that she filed the official complaint Monday with the WSU Office for Equal Opportunity after reading a story on Saturday about other allegations brought against Gesser. "When other girls came forward, it changed the game," said Bedeau, whose maiden name is Wold. "When I saw that it was a pattern, that's when I decided, I'm not going to stay quiet. If it doesn't stop now, other girls will be in danger." The original allegations were made public Thursday by the WSU student newspaper The Daily Evergreen. The newspaper documented several allegations of inappropriate advances towards student interns and colleagues that prompted a 2017 investigation by the WSU Office of Equal Opportunity. Officials ultimately cleared Gesser, 39, of any wrongdoing. Gesser, who led the Cougars to the 2003 Rose Bowl, did not immediately respond Monday to a new request for an interview. On Friday, he issued a statement denying he had ever sexually harassed anyone and called the Evergreen report a non-story. Then a friend sent a link from the Evergreen story to Bedeau on Saturday while she was attending the Spokane County Fair. "I was honestly at a standstill at the fair for 15 minutes staring at it," Bedeau said. "I thought I was the only one that this happened to. Reading the article made me realize that I wasn't the last one, but I also wasn't the first one. That kind of wrecked me right there. What I had been telling myself for 3 years was just be silent. Don't wreck a family," she continued. "But I didn't know he was doing that to other girls." She started Monday by filing an official complaint with the university. WSU President Kirk Schultz and Director of Athletics Pat Chun responded later Monday by announcing in a joint statement that a new allegation of sexual misconduct had been reported Monday morning. In the statement, WSU leaders said the new report was the first complaint the individual had made against Gesser, an assistant director for the Cougar Athletic Fund, and that they had placed him on administrative leave. "This is new information and a different set of events than previously reported," said Kimberly Anderson, executive director of the Officer for Equal Opportunity. "In accordance with standard WSU practice, Mr. Gesser was placed on home assignment pending a full investigation into the allegations." Bedeau grew up in Spokane Valley and attended West Valley High School. She first played volleyball for Lewis Clark State College before transferring to Washington State in 2012. She played her junior season in 2012 but chose to sit out her senior year after suffering an injury. About the same time, she started caring for the Gessers' 3 children to help out Callie Gesser, a former WSU volleyball player who remained active with the team. "Of them like my own," Bedeau said of the Gesser children. "They were my life when I was in Pullman. During that year and a half," Bedeau said she had frequent interactions with a man who earlier had become a legend at quarterback from 1998 to 2002. In 2013, Gesser returned to Pullman after 6 years of professional football and several coaching stops, including a stint at Idaho. "Jason Gesser was really nice. Nothing in that year and a half led me to believe that I could not trust him," Bedeau said. She graduated from WSU in 2014. In December of that year, she landed a job as an assistant volleyball coach at St. Marin's University, a Division II school located in Lacey, Washington. Then in June 2015, Bedeau received a text from Jason Gesser inviting her to a fundraiser in Tumwater. I knew donors and supporters would be there. "Bill Moose, my athletic director, was going to be there," she said. "The event was really great. When it was over, Gesser invited me to go have drinks with Bill Moose, other coworkers, and a female intern. She said Gesser offered to catch her up with how his family was doing and asked her to pick him up from his hotel. I was excited to hear what was happening in their new school year, Bedeau said, referring to the Gesser children. But just a few blocks from Bedeau's apartment, she said Gesser placed his hand on her leg. He leaned in and tried to kiss me. I pulled away. I just said, no, she said. He asked, why? I said, because you are a married man and you have a family. Bedeau said Gesser continued to attempt to kiss her and pushed both hands under her dress. I started to get really scared because he was not listening. I was terrified because I didn't know what to do, she said as she cried. The more I kept telling him, no, and stop, the more he kept telling me how much he liked me. She said she again reminded Gesser that he was married. He told me, I'm only married because we have kids. At one point, Gesser put his hand around Bedeau's head and tried to force a kiss. Couldn't pull away, so I put my hand in front of his mouth to try to stop him, she said. It didn't stop him. He started kissing my hand. I had no idea what was going on. I absolutely felt powerless. She doesn't remember how, but she somehow got away from Gesser and told him to leave. He said, everything is okay. That both confused and terrified me, she said. Nothing he was doing was okay. Bedeau drove Gesser back to his hotel. Just before getting out of the car, he leaned over and kissed me on the cheek. I didn't expect it. Feeling that kiss on my cheek mostly made me want to vomit. Bedeau went home after dropping Gesser off at his hotel. I curled up in the fetal position and cried myself to sleep, she said. The next day, Gesser texted Bedeau. He said, we probably shouldn't tell my wife that I saw you. That sent me into a whirlwind because I didn't know what to think. His wife was my favorite person in the world and his kids are my favorite people. Bedeau, who relayed what happened to her roommate and her sister, then blocked Gesser from her phone. But thinking it was an isolated incident, Bedeau did not take her concerns any further. I repressed it so hard. I wanted to protect Callie Gesser, Bedeau said. Quote, I knew if I was honest with her that I could hurt the family. A year later, she somehow got a new text from Gesser even though Bedeau thought she had blocked him from contacting her. Part of the message said, don't be a stranger. I was dating my husband at the time. I wasn't expecting it. It rattled me pretty good, she said. It brought everything I had ever felt back racing. Bedeau married Stephen Bedeau, 28, in 2017. He said she relayed her encounter with a Gesser. She told me she felt guilty, he said. The whole victim shaming that our society does infuriates me. He's the one who messed up and she has to suffer for it. The only thing I could do is support her and tell her, you are the victim here. The pain came rushing back again on Saturday when Alyssa Bedeau read about the allegations, including a passage in the report in the Daily Evergreen about an unnamed WSU female employee who said Gesser made an unwanted attempt to kiss her during a dinner. I thought I was reading my own story, Bedeau said. But the dates were wrong. Despite dredging up the pain from her encounter, the former volley player said she's also had to break with her former school. I chose to go there. I love wearing my alumni letter jacket that I earned, she said. I bleed crimson for my love of Pullman. So it makes me sad that the school I love so much is making these decisions, Bedeau continued. If this is a money thing, that breaks my heart even more. I want WSU to stop protecting people like this. It's encouraging his behaviors. It's got to stop. I want to protect future girls from predators like him.